Yo, 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 hello, hello. Welcome to episode 79 of Michigan Brews. I am the only host tonight. This is Brian. But I do have a dear friend, Brandon Edwards, with me tonight, who is also going to be going to Homebrew Con with me. So everybody say hi to Brandon.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. What you got going on tonight? What you drinking?
Somehow I still have a little bit left of that cold IPA made with Sabro and stuff, so I'm drinking a little bit of that. It still tastes pretty good.
How much of that you got left?
You know, I didn't do my official keg lift to try to determine, but I would gather just from filling less than a gallon for sure.
You didn't feel like buying a Play-Doh keg scale after our amazing in-depth conversation about it last episode?
I like just being surprised.
Yeah. Nothing like pouring like the last little bit of a clear beer and having it look like a New England IPA or something.
Yeah, start sounding like you're slurping the bottom of a slushie or something in there.
It's when you start getting that texture from the beer that you're really missing from all your other pints. It really pulls it all together. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm speaking of like hazy, dirty, gumpy beers, drinking a Galaxy Michigan Copper New England IPA. I've got about half a keg of this left. It's pretty tasty, man. What everybody in chat, thanks for joining us. What are you all drinking tonight? I gotta open up the comments here. Jason usually does so much of the prep work and the behind the scenes work of like getting the show started and stuff like that I'm all
he is actually doing things like behind the scenes. All right.
I know.
That's cool. Yeah.
So Homebrew Con is in 2 days. Kind of 3 days technically. We'll be there on Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be the first day that we can actually officially check in. So what do you know about Homebrew Con? Like what have you been to a Homebrew Con before?
I have not. This will be my first, and that's kind of I remember I wasn't homebrewing when they were in Grand Rapids. I had homebrewed before and I knew it was here, and I was like, oh, if I was homebrewing, that'd be sweet to go to. And then I just never did. And then COVID hit when I was, heavy into brewing. And, then I was mulling around when I was going to actually go to one, because it is something that's on my list of things to do that are brewing related. And I know I mentioned to you and Jason that, I was considering going to one of them at some point, not necessarily this year. And you guys said you were going. And I was like, oh, shoot, that's probably a good time to go.
Split decision.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm in your exact boat. I think I started homebrewing the year after they were in Grand Rapids. Brandon and I are in Kalamazoo, so it's about an hour away from us. That would have been an amazing trip. But this will be my first Homebrew Con too. So I guess we both get to talk about what we're expecting tonight a little bit. And if anybody else in chat is going, or if you guys have questions, let us know. Tim is in chat. He says Lager Boys. We got I don't know, 2/5 of the Lager Boys here, something like that. Tim, I don't know if I told you, but Saturday I brewed another batch of Eagle Juice, so I got that fermenting right now.
Did you keep it legit with the extract?
I did. Yeah. The last time I bought extract, I bought double just so I could get that free shipping and stuff like that. Our local shop didn't have any rice syrup solids, so I had to get some stuff online. 6 pounds of Pilsen DME and 4 pounds of rice syrup solids is what I ordered.
Okay.
And some 3470 Saaz hops. Ryan says, what is Eagle Juice? So speaking of Homebrew Con and National Homebrew Competition and stuff like that, the winning American lager from the National Homebrew Competition last year was it's Canoe Chuck or Chuck Canoe or something like that, American lager. It was a all extract batch, and it took first place over something like 105 entries. It's made with is for a 5-gallon batch, 3 pounds of Pilsen dry malt extract, 2 pounds of rice syrup solids, about 11 IBUs of Saaz right at 60. It's just like a 2-hour boil day because you're not mashing. So you're just throwing everything together, boiling it, chilling it, and pitching some 3470. Fermenting cool, but you probably can ferment warm. 3470 is, like Brandon, very forgiving. Might do that next time. We'll see. But then, yeah, crash it and lager it, and you got yourself a delicious American lager. I think this thing will turn out to be like 4% or something like that. It starts at, I think my OG was 1038 this round.
Okay.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, Tim says canoe chuck, so thanks for that.
Okay.
Tim's actually doing the same recipe this weekend, but it's going to be called Freedom Fuel. So yeah, absolutely. And he's doing 65 under some pressure. So yeah, I haven't done a pressure fermentation in a while. I used to have a plastic fermenter that could do pressure, and I don't remember what it was called. I think it might be something similar to what you used, Tim, but it was the older version of it that had more of like a upside down teardrop shape. Fast ferment, maybe, is that it, or something? Okay. I don't remember. It did have a top draw thing that you could use, so you could do pressure transfers with it and stuff. But I don't know, it just never worked well for me. I think I ended up giving it away, but it was a sweet little device. I hope yours is working awesome. Just cuckier. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what is Homebrew Con? I think we were talking about that before I got caught off track, but essentially it's sort of, so it's like Comic Con, but for fat old beer drinkers, basically. So you're not dressing up. In fact, you're probably dressed down. And everybody is probably far more inebriated than they would be at a comic book convention. There's lots of beer being shared around. There's different panels, just like there are at a lot of other conventions, except instead of hanging out with like, the people that played the Power Rangers, you're hanging out with the people that wrote like books on hops, like Stan Hieronymus or something like that. So.
Yeah. Which Power Ranger? Like one of the murdering ones, or
were there murdering Power Rangers? What happened?
There's at least one in prison for murder. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Like of the original 5?
I'd have to look it up, but yeah, I remember watching. There's this. To go off topic already. There's this guy I used to watch on YouTube. His name's Mr. Ballin, and he does like these narrations of horror and murder, and like one of his like stories that he narrated. He basically just researches it and then does like a YouTube on it and uses some photos and stuff. And does a good job putting it together. But yeah, this guy, one of the Power Rangers, I had to look up to see which one. He kidnapped this family, brought them out on their boat, and tied them to the anchor and threw the anchor off the boat. Like a giant anchor.
God, yes, why have I never heard about this before?
Yeah.
There's a documentary on it.
I mean, it's a YouTuber he makes he researches different crime and horror topics and does a good job of narrating. If you like that kind of stuff, like just listening to a story, kind of like an audiobook, but with a few pictures and descriptions and stuff like that, it's pretty entertaining.
Someone in chat find out who that was. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm with you, Ron. As long as it wasn't the White Power Ranger. What?
Hey, whoa! We can't say those 2 words.
It happened in the show first. It's fine. What? His real name? I don't remember his real name. The Red Power Ranger's real name was Jason, and then Jason was the White/Green Ranger, but I don't remember what his name was. Oh, Tim's saying it was from a later series. So.
Oh, okay. All right. As you say, even this one I found is even a different one. So there's been multiple murders related to Power Rangers.
Well, I know what I'm doing after the show tonight, so thanks for that. Hey, what's going on, Matt? Thank you. Thank you for showing up. You just missed the first talk about how Power Rangers are apparently murdering people. So. Somebody find out who that was. Tom. Oh, yeah, you're right, Tim. Tommy was the Green and White Ranger. Jason. So Jason is the real name of Tommy, and then Jason was the name of the Red Ranger in the show, but I don't remember his name. Okay. The White Green Ranger, he got all like tatted up and stuff like that after the show, and he was an MMA fighter for a while or something.
All right.
I don't know, but yeah, Homebrew Con again, Comic Con for beer nerds. So there's going to be a ton of panels happening. There's going to be a ton of meetups. Milk the Funk is doing a meetup at a brewery out there on Thursday or Friday. There's a club night where clubs can rent out some space and serve beer. There's a kickoff party and a knockout party. And I think I counted something like 46 seminars that you can attend over the course of the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Plus all the breweries out there that, want your attention afterwards. I think that like most of the things end up ending each day around like, I don't know, 9 or something like that. They don't go too late. So I'm sure we'll end up at some breweries out there and stuff like that. But have you taken a look at any of the seminars that you want to attend or anything like that?
Yeah, a little bit. I think I looked right away when first signing up to try to get a good idea and jotted a couple things down, but I was just looking at them before the show here. And I will say, just because I like to find something to complain about here, there are too many good ones at the same time. So like that does kind of irk me a little bit. I wish there were more time slots, but I guess there's only so much time in the day.
I never felt too conflicted. What were you looking at? I guess I
mean, I
consider good things different than me.
Yeah, admittedly, like I just kind of want to go to all of the things. So when I look at them, I'm just kind of like, geez, now I gotta pick between these. I think the hardest, like some of the hardest things, I'll eliminate some of, like we were talking before the show. Like I probably won't go to some of the hop related things because those are things I research on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say research. I read other people's research on my own, and so like those, I'm less worried about finding new information because I usually feel like I'm a little bit at least ahead of the curve on that. So I'll probably pick things like medieval gruit because I've never made one.
Same.
I think I picked another one I jotted down here was the high gravity stuff for the afternoon on Thursday. Just because I don't make a ton of high gravity beers, so it's pro techniques for homebrewers. So that sounded kind of interesting.
Oh, I missed that one.
First day, and then there is a brewing with ancient grains as well on Thursday. There's just some things like I figured if I have to kind of eliminate something, I'll pick something that I'm less familiar with, so I can feel like I'm learning something.
You picked all like the cool ones that I know nothing about, but for some reason didn't choose to go to. I don't know why. I'm like, I'll have to look through these because I made myself a schedule, and a lot of these, like I know some things about, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have to reevaluate my schedule a little bit. I'm definitely going to the blending sour beer one. I'm gonna toot my own horn here a little bit. Last year I took a silver at NHC for one of my blended sours, so hoping to take another medal there this year. We'll see. I have a couple sours in, but
yeah. What types did you enter in NHC this year?
Oh man, yeah. So that's another thing that's going on out there. Saturday at 2 is the national awards, or the National Homebrew Competition awards. I've got 2 sours, one from this year, one from last year. The one from last year is not the one that took a medal, so it's similar, but it's made with Balaton cherries, and the other is made with raspberries. Except the one with raspberries actually stabilized before adding the raspberries, so none of the raspberry re-fermented. Okay. It's very, very raspberry punchy and good. I really kicked up the carbonation. So the only fault, and it's not really a fault, but I don't know, we'll see what they say. It's not complex. It's definitely more complex than a kettle sour, but it doesn't have this like crazy bouquet of horse blanket and hay and other random things. It's like
no funk.
There's a little funk and a good amount of tartness and punchy strawberry raspberry. So we'll see. It depends on how much they like fruit, I guess. But Tim says we have permission to accept his medals. Tim, how many did you enter? Like 5? I'll take all 5 of your medals, man. I'll make sure to get them. I'm going to bring a picture of you and take it up on stage and be like, this is the guy. I'm just getting his medal. So I'll hang it on your picture and
just make a mask out of it and walk up.
Yeah. 2. Okay. What'd you enter, Tim? So I know what to listen for. But the 2 sours, I entered a pale ale, which I really liked. I think it was like a Mosaic and Citra pale ale. I was going to enter a stout, but swapped it for the pale ale at the last minute because I like that more. And then 4 meads. I have. I don't want to go into the meads because I'll go into the styles. The mead judging pool is really, really small. And I know that some of the mead judges that will be judging like the Michigan Mead Cup and Mazer Cup are probably listening to the show or at least watch reruns occasionally. So I don't want to put bias into their heads. Yeah, it's not like I can say, they have very specific ingredients, and when you read the ingredients list, it would probably like click like, oh yeah, Brian said he was brewing something like that. But I entered one in sweet traditional. I entered one in fruit and spice. I entered one in what all did I enter? Oh, one in experimental, and then one in stone fruit, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see how they do. I would love to win an NFC Mead medal. The chances, I think, are a little bit higher this year. So I don't know. Have you followed Mead with the National Homebrew Competition in the last couple of years?
I have not.
So Mead and NHC was only 4 categories. It was traditional, fruit, spice, and experimental, I think, or something very close to that.
Okay.
This year, they've actually broken it out into all of the subcategories, like how most mead competitions work. So traditionals will be dry traditional, medium traditional, sweet traditional. There will be stone fruit separate from like melomel, separate from piment. So I think all of those are getting their own medals this year, which means that all of the people that entered mead, the categories, since they're being broken out more, there's less entries into each category, which makes your chances of getting a medal a little bit higher.
Yeah, and it just makes that just better. Like I just feel like having a traditional dry mead against a sweet traditional mead.
Oh no, it doesn't make any sense.
Totally is going to have some palate issues there.
I'd have to go back and look, but it really surprised me if
the dry traditional wins.
Yeah, I'd be. One, they're really hard to do, but maybe that gets them bonus points if it's done really well. But
Right.
2, they just don't taste super great. I mean, you need to really, really be good about it. Like add just the slightest hint of sweetness back in to make it taste like anything. Have you tasted just straight up dry fermented like mead?
Yeah, I've tried making a couple. Like even those though, like the ones that I actually liked, I had to add spices to, like vanilla or something, just to make it a little something extra. But yeah, just a dry traditional mead is with just mostly just tasting other people's. I just find those difficult to drink. Which reminds me, I have some, which I've meant to bring them to other things too. Some sour meads and other meads from, oh man, what is it like? I only know of them from there's Ricky the mead maker, is their mead maker Groenfell or whatever, and Havoc Mead I think is there.
Okay.
They're interesting. They're not quite my bag, hence why I still have some of them, because they're some dry ones and some sour ones they're not bad. They're just hard to drink a lot of.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I mean to bring some of those to try, and maybe I'll remember to throw some when I see you on Wednesday.
Hey, sweet. Yeah. Bring them up to NHC or something. Yeah. Crack them up there. I mean, there's going to be a lot of bottle shares and other random stuff. I mean, who knows? Are they carbonated or strong? Like what's like the ABV and stuff?
I don't believe like any of them are super strong. I do think they're more like they're lower ABV for meat. I want to say they're like between 6 and 9% ABV, and then like I think most of them are carbonated from my memory.
Okay. Yeah.
I might Ziploc bag the sour ones just to be safe, just because you never know. Like if they stop fermentation completely and they're whatever.
You haven't moved it from a shelf in 2 years.
They've been just sitting. They're in my garage fridge. They've been sitting there for the last about 2 years.
I think we'll put together a cooler to bring
Okay.
stuff up with. I'm bringing some snacks for the car ride and stuff. It's only, for some reason, I was thinking it was going to be like an 8-hour car ride, and it's only something closer to like 5.5, I think. So
Okay. I was picturing around 6. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why I had it in my head, but yeah, it'll be okay. So yeah, blending sour beers. There was one that was conflicting with another one that I wanted to go and check out, and I don't remember what the other one is, but one of them I'm going to check out is the evaluation of 5 lager yeast strains on a Munich Helles recipe.
Yep. That one I was thinking of adding to mine as well.
I think that'll be really cool. I like those sort of experiments. I like Helles lagers, or Helles is a lager. Helles is a lager.
Yes.
For some reason, I think Kolsch when I think that for some reason, but and then the importance of yeast choice to brew trendy beer styles, because that's just who I am as a brewer, is brewing like trendy shit. So I want to see what it takes to brew like a good like Italian grape ale or something.
Yeah.
I think so. I think they're going to be talking about that. And I've never done one, and I've never tasted one. So something like that could be fun. But any presentation that is most likely going to have free beer, I'll probably check out. Not that there won't be tons and tons of beer flowing anyway, but yeah, it'll be good. Thursday is the Milk the Funk meetup. Have you? I think it might be Bootleg Biology that puts this out, but have you ever heard of the Milk the Funk meetup blend from Bootleg Biology?
I have heard of some of their blends, but yeah, I haven't used them or anything or obtained them.
So in previous years, what they have done at Milk the Funk meetups is they take the dregs from everybody's open bottle and they mix it together and take it home. I think it's Bootleg. I don't think it's Escarpment, but so Bootleg will take this back to their production facility, and they will quote unquote step this up into a blend, and it's just this like monstrosity of the dregs of every open bottle that was left at the end of the night, and then they package it up and sell it out. And I definitely have used it, but I don't have any notes as to which beer it is downstairs that I made with it. So I'm gonna have to go and maybe do a little bit of investigative work.
Do they keep track at all of like what
No,
bottles they put in there?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's even better.
So I'm going to bring some speciation stuff. I want to make sure that we have some local love to pour into the mix this year. Their particular, I don't know, bugs are very good. I really like speciation beers, so hopefully they dominate. We'll see. Take over any like Jester King stuff that's a little bit more on the farmhouse side of things.
You could just save the dregs for yourself.
That's what I usually do.
Okay.
I have a lot of speciation. So all of my sour beers, for the most part, except like some of the boutique blends or whatever that I've gotten from Bootleg, are me just dumping speciation bottles into my beer. I'll save the last little bit of gunk and dump it into a beer and come back to it a year later. And for the most part, I've never had a sour that I've wanted to dump. The one that I blended last year for NHC was it was supposed to be a Flanders red, but it was so not bad, but so pungent. Like you smell it and you taste it, and it's just this funky, not quite like buttery, but like beyond horseshoe and horse blanket and stuff like that, just like overpoweringly deep, intense like flavor. And I'm like, this is too much. Like there's no way I could drink even a 4-ounce glass of this. But blended 1 to 4 in a 5 gallon batch adds just the right amount of complexity and added some color that then mixed really well with the cherries that I put in it. And That was great. So I need to start doing stuff like that again, and that's part of why I'm really kind of excited to look at this, blending presentation to see how they do it. Because I don't really know. I have a bunch of my beer in kegs right now, and I figure I'll just blend by weight to taste. But
shoot, that reminds me, I have a kind of Flanders red or Oud Brune that I pitched some Roselaire into a little over 2 months now. I haven't even looked at it since I put it in a carboy and just pitched that and just put a hoodie over it. It's just been sitting there.
That's how you do it, man. Yeah.
Just like this way I'll forget about it for a while. Hey, I forgot about it for 2 months basically. So
go make sure your airlock's topped up and
we'll see if it was a good idea or not, but I switched it over to like one of those airless ones or waterless ones.
Yeah.
So I think Brian Vlier said he uses those for his long-term stuff sometimes. So I was like, I'd give one of those a try. It seems like a good idea. That way I don't have to worry about forgetting.
Yeah, let me know how that goes. That would definitely be a really good idea. Did you turn in anything to NHC this year?
Nope, I did the same thing I did last year where I signed up, like I think 2, and then I got the 1 free entry at least. But
right.
I don't know. Just by the time it was time to ship stuff, I think the only beers I had ready were ones that had entered in local competitions that did it okay, but nothing really meddled. So I didn't really feel like spending the shipping.
That's fair. Yeah.
So I kind of wish I had maybe sent 1 or 2 things just because we're going to be there. But otherwise, it's just like, it's not but I'll survive,
Next year. I don't know where it's going to be yet. I don't think they've leaked it. We'll find out in a couple days.
I think Central doesn't usually go like East Coast, Central, West Coast.
Because it was going to be in California last year. So it'll be somewhere in the Midwest this year. So hopefully it'll still be close-ish to us.
That would be cool if it's within 6 hours again.
yeah, like a Cleveland or something, or come back to GR. I think every time they ask where we want the con to come back to, I always say Grand Rapids. Yeah. Not that you wouldn't want it in Kalamazoo or anything like that, but like Wing Stadium would be all right. There's a lot of hotels around that area. There's not a whole lot of like rooms for seminars and stuff though, maybe. So yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how big this thing's going to be, honestly. I know that I have no idea. I've never seen pictures of people wandering around at Homebrew Con. I don't know. I legitimately have no idea how big it's going to be. So I'm curious, but like, have you scoped out a picture of what the inside of the convention center we're going to looks like at all?
No, I mean, in my mind, I'm just picturing a big room with a lot of tables, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Other than that's what I'm imagining, but yeah, I don't know other than what I can imagine. So it'll be good. I think we'll have fun no matter what. We can critique it next week, I guess, right?
Yeah. I'm excited to check out some of the breweries that are up there too.
Yes.
There was a post on the homebrewing subreddit the other day. I know Church Brewing is up there. I've heard. I've heard like Have you
Pittsburgh a couple times? So
okay.
I haven't been to all the breweries because I went there. It was like it's a meetup point for me and my wife's family. We used to meet up there because it's about 6 hours for us, and it's about 6 hours from them from Virginia. So like that would be our meetup point is in the Pittsburgh area. So like when we went there at least a handful of times, and at least a couple of the times we stopped at a few of the breweries. Church is the one that sticks out. I was just pulling up a list to kind of get an idea. We only went to a couple though, so but that's the one I remember because it's hard to forget. It's in an old church.
Oh, is that okay? Well, that makes sense. So sort of like a Vivant.
Yeah, but I think it's bigger. But yes, otherwise, yes, it is very much similar to that. Oh, sorry if you can hear my loud clicking keyboard here.
Mine's yours is clackier than mine.
Jeez, mechanical keyboards,
I'm looking at, I see Hitchhiker, Grist House, Dancing Gnome, Necromancer, and Strange Roots all at the top here.
I think I might have went to Grist House, but yeah, I'd have to see him to be for sure. But definitely Church because I think we went there at least 2 times that we were there. So
Okay.
that was memorable. We mostly went there for dinner, but had a couple beers. So yeah,
I guess Malcolm from Brewlosophy is the brewer for Hop Farm, where the Milk the Funk meetup is. So
nice.
That'll be cool. I had no idea about that. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Some mentions about church again. Cinderlands. Brew Gentlemen. Yeah, I don't know. There's a ton, so I guess we're gonna be hopefully the Uber situation is pretty good out there, but I guess we're gonna be Ubering around a lot.
Oh yeah, plus I don't know, like my memory of just the highways, it's like there's a bunch of raised highways and up and down and all over the place that are hard enough to navigate when you are 100% not drinking anything alcoholic. So yeah, don't need to add that factor in there.
Nope. I prefer not to brew. I don't even like driving in Chicago, like sober, or Detroit if I can absolutely help it. Shane and I went to a show in Detroit last year, and it wasn't that bad. Like Detroit's kind of like empty and dead right now. Like the traffic was not bad, surprisingly, but even then there was like just like curves and ups and downs and all this weird stuff, and I wasn't comfortable with it. I'm a pansy when it comes to that stuff.
Well, yeah, I prefer the I get angry enough with the traffic here, Kalamazoo Portage area, let alone when I go to Grand Rapids or Chicago or Detroit.
So one thing I hear about Homebrew Con too that you might want to do is and maybe they'll provide us with one on check-in, but you'll want to bring some sort of like backpack maybe.
Okay.
Because there will be swag. Like anticipate coming home with probably free hops, free malt samples, free yeast samples.
Especially since we're VIP people.
Stickers. Yeah, we did get the VIP. I don't know what that's going to entail. I guess we'll find that out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was like, if we're going anyway, I might as well see what that's all about for the first time we go, and then if it sucks, we can just cut it out later or something. But
yeah,
excuse me. I when they said, and I hope I didn't read this wrong. They said something about like a snack bar or something that you could go into as like a VIP. I'm like all about that. Snacks. All I want to do when I drink and I have like a little bit of a buzz is like go and get some pretzels or something. Like it doesn't have to be amazing. Like just give me like a handful of pretzels that I can go pick up and take out with me, every like 30 minutes or something like that, and I'll.
Oh yeah, my favorite. I mean, pretzels were probably my number one, but my favorite part about Shakespeare's is going there and getting the popcorn, and hitting up some beers, getting some popcorn. That's a nice. Yes, I'll agree. Just give me a handful or two of something salty, and it'll be great.
I need to get down to Shakes more often. Their beer selection's good, and all their food is really good, and. They always have beer that I've never had before. It's just I don't find myself getting out all that much these days.
I think their 19th anniversary party is coming up here.
Is that when they do the however many beers never tapped in Kalamazoo before thing?
Yep, every year. It gets more difficult for them every year.
Yeah.
44. Yeah.
Okay.
44 beers. Let's see what day. I know I just posted it here. Oh, the 16th. So July 16th.
Oh, that is coming up. Dang. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's always a good time in my mind, but it is always busy as crap. So yeah, it kind of depends on what you like.
Go during the day a little bit. It's probably way busier at night.
Yes, and it looks like they're doing it on Saturday. So like getting there as soon as they open is never a terrible idea. Yeah. I got to grab another beer because I feel like I'm not participating fully.
Yep, go for it. I actually just cracked open a. So sometimes I just package myself a howler.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, so no,
you got the experience, better experience with beer.
See ya. So Tim said he entered a Keller beer and a fruited sour. Tim, bro, don't hate on yourself. You said you will not win anything. You will win things. Don't hate on yourself like that. I've had that Keller beer. And I don't know which fruited sour was it. I don't even know if you're still watching, but I would be more than excited to go and pick up a a medal for you. I would love for that to be your first like NHC medal. I don't know who else is entering NHC from our club this year. I think that maybe Nate has something in. I don't know if Jordan has anything in. I'll have to bug him sometime off the show. But yeah, well, I think it'll be really good. Let me pour myself a beer here real quick. So this is some of the Oktoberfest. Matt, I don't know if you're still watching, but this is the Oktoberfest that we did at a Big Brew Day. Cleared up really nice. I don't know if you can see it all that well through the camera, thanks to the, my blurriness or whatever. But I think I've talked about this on the show before, but we did because we were going around sharing beer and being very social. We ended up missing the final bittering hop edition on this Oktoberfest. So it is just the slightest bit too sweet, maybe. It's not like super cloying or anything like that, but it makes it so that it's not the most go back to drinkable, sort of beer. It's not as refreshing, maybe. But I think we hit all the flavor points perfectly. I think the color is beautiful. The head retention is amazing. It sticks around for forever. I poured myself some of this. I think it was early last week, and I was eating dinner, and I just let it sit in the glass because I wasn't thirsty yet. And maybe like half an hour later, like the head still looked like this. Like it's just hung around forever. So I don't know if it was the Munich or the Pilsner or what. It was a really simple recipe, but yeah, it's a damn fine beer. I don't know if I'll enter it into a competition. I still have about a half a keg left, but it's definitely going to be something I'll sip on. If you want some, Matt, if you end up watching this later, let me know. I can ship some out to you. Who else went up there? It was me and...
Is it the Rochester?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. Jason.
Date. Who was there? Was it just us three?
Yeah, I think just the three of us went up there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll bring some for you too, Brandon, at some point. Or have you tried it yet? Did you try it at a homebrew club meeting?
Yeah, I had them at one of the meetings. Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh yeah, I called it a Marizenish or something like that.
Nice. I grabbed some Vienna lager. So
I was just gonna ask. How much of that do you have left?
I was actually just lifting the keg because it came out. It was crystal clear, and like my pour was not crystal clear. Maybe it's mostly chill haze, I think, though.
Did you do the lift test on it?
I did my lift test. So like it had at least 2 gallons in there, so it's not gone yet. I actually was planning on entering that in like a state fair and maybe a couple other things, maybe just to get some feedback on it. But yeah, that one I like it. So it feels like it needs a little more carb now, also. So I'm wondering if I shook the keg up when I did just toss in a couple beers yesterday or day before because I kegged up a Saison I've had sitting around with in the fermenter, and then that DME IPA, so that I kegged up, so that should be getting close to carved up, but that one had a good amount of. I was actually just going to pull it up just to look at the grain bill, or not grain bill, but hop. Just to look at the hops that I threw in there because I did throw. I threw some Vic Secret, Amarillo. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Vic Secret, Amarillo, Falconer's Flight, and yeah, that's mostly that. And I think I threw a little bit of Cascade in the Whirlpool as well because I had like just 2 ounces sitting in my freezer that I was like, oh, let's just throw that in there too.
What's the reason for going like all dry malt with that one?
Well, that was because I got a bunch of that golden white DME from Bell's clearancing out. So I just like threw like almost about 8 pounds worth of DME in there, and then steeped some Munich and wheat malt, and just called that an easy brew day with a bunch of hops.
Yeah, I guess you don't really do a lot of yeast starters, so yeah, makes sense.
And I used, what was it? Actually, I didn't, probably wasn't the best choice just because I could have better utilized it, but I pitched a Star Party at Omega Star Party, the theolized USO5 theolized Chico strain.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't used that yet. That's cool.
But, so it'll be my first time using that as well. So,
have you tried any samples from the fermenter yet? Or
it's great from the fermenter.
Okay.
So, but we'll see if I, how much I diminished that by not doing a close transfer. So, usually that's why I say I didn't fully utilize everything I could have. I didn't use mash hops because I didn't do a real mash. I didn't do a close transfer because I used just one of my regular buckets. And honestly, like I say, most of the time I don't feel like doing them unless if I'm doing an IPA, I'll usually, like I said, if I really want to be really particular, I'll put it in my all-rounder and just keep the pressure in there and just serve it right from there. Lazy brewer coming out there. So we'll see if I hurt myself at all with that, but from the fermenter without being carbonated, excellent.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that. There's nothing wrong with being a lazy brewer. You be the kind of brewer that you want to be, man. Like, I think that everybody gets all bent out of shape sometimes about like not brewing the way that other people think they should brew and beating themselves up, or other people judging the way that other people are making beer. Like, if somebody doesn't like their beer and wants advice or something, then ask and you'll get advice. But like, I don't know, like everybody makes beer for their own reasons. Some people just want to get drunk and they don't care what it tastes like. Some people want to do competitions. Some people really love experimentation and do like 1 gallon batches at a time. Like that's all they want to do. Some people want to make YouTube videos and stuff like that. Speaking of, we'll see how this works out. I am going to maybe potentially do a video on making that all extract American lager. So we'll see how that turns out. If I can even do it. I don't have a lot of artistic talent when it comes to doing anything with pictures or videos or whatever. So we'll see. But I think that I want to do more with Michigan Brews than we're doing right now. Not that I don't love these live streams and talking to people and stuff like that, but I don't know. Sometimes if I have free time at night, it's like, why don't just take some time and make a video and, spend a week or two editing it and put it out. And maybe it'll be helpful for somebody, because we're never gonna like do that thing with the channel where we, ask people to join or pay. We're never going to do like a Patreon or anything like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If anybody ever asks us to do that, I will say, go join Matt Ushman's YouTube channel, because he's regularly putting out content and doing a really good job with it. I just don't want to have to I feel like I'm beholden to making content on a regular basis. Yeah. So maybe that's a reason why people like wouldn't watch or something like that. But I don't know. This is just a hobby for us, and this is what's fun for us. And I want to make sure that it stays fun. And I've talked to Jason and Jordan about the same thing, and they've been cooking up ideas for things that they want to do themselves too, for shorter videos that aren't like these live streams. So we'll see what comes out of it. I still want to document more of like my BJCP certification journey. We're still working on getting more of the club. Excuse me. More of the club passed their online certification. So I know you passed, right?
Yeah, that's about. To be fair, that's about all I've done. I've been pretty lazy with it too. But,
that's fine. We need, I think, a minimum of 6 and a maximum of 10 people committed to wanting to take the tasting exam. So between you and me, and Tim Wicklund said he's going to commit to taking it. And I know we have others in the private Facebook group that we created. We'll still get it. So yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully the chat's still working, because I haven't seen anybody post anything since Tim Wicklund mentioned his Keller beer and fruited sour, but
yeah, it's probably me. I scared people away.
We kind of went and veered off topic for the Homebrew Con anyway, but yeah, I think we went over most of what we were going to talk about regarding the seminars and the award ceremony and the get-togethers and stuff. Maybe we'll try to take some video while we're out there, or at least pictures. We'll try to post a little bit as a channel and stuff like that. But yeah, what else you got to talk about?
Ooh.
I don't want to kick you off while you still have, a full beer. I feel like that's unfair of me to do, and I've got at least this yet. So
yeah. Ooh, I like the title of the horror of hop creep.
I didn't even see that one.
It's like one of the last ones from the 25th. So on Saturday.
So what is hop creep?
Ooh.
I'm gonna challenge you here.
Okay, hop creep. Hop creep is when you go to dry hop your probably IPA, but maybe some other things, and it restarts fermentation because of the enzymes that are in those hops kicking it back off. So like sometimes what'll happen, especially with like an English yeast, that would be your number one culprit for it, but other ones can do it too. Kicking out some diacetyl because it re-ferments after you dry hop, and getting that nice buttery taste is the worst part that you can probably get from it is that ruining your IPA, and not. So if you dry hop, you might want to keep it at 70 plus degrees for a few days while you're dry hopping, and make sure that fermentation if it does kick back up, maybe even if you remove the hops, maybe keep it for a couple more days warm.
What a riot. Yeah.
Having tried to rush some IPAs myself, even as a not brand new home brewer before, I've hit myself with that hop creep horror. So it can happen. It happens.
There's also the horrors of bottle bombs potentially.
Oh yeah.
I think it's something like every one gravity point that you go down. So we're talking like from point 0.005 to 0.004. Adds another half of volume worth of CO2 to whatever you are fermenting. So if you had hop creep in your IPA and you're like a bottle brewer, or even if you didn't let your IPA finish off for whatever reason, if it still had like 2 more gravity points to go, your IPA could potentially be have gone from 2.5 volumes to like 3.5 volumes. You're essentially going from like a well carbonated IPA to like a sparkling beer that strips away all of that hop flavor because it's just so bubbly on your tongue now. And it's just because it, like, yeast fermenting sugar puts out that much CO2. It's wild, especially when it's contained in a bottle and stuff like that, and mixing back into the liquid.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty crazy. So I don't know anything about hop creep, so that might be a cool thing. I know that when Keepers first started, Bell's was really into researching it, and at that point in time they were referring to it as the freshening power of hops, which you can still find online. I think there's like papers that cite it as that, but I don't know, maybe the slang title now is hop creep, or the more well-known title. But
hop creep,
it's something that I think has been studied and was studied for quite a while before it really came into the limelight in the last a couple of years. But a few breweries have been hit really hard with it, and they've invested some time and money, especially the ones like Bell's that make a lot of their money off of IPAs, into trying to figure out what they need to do to prevent that.
Oh yeah, that diacetyl will ruin that quick.
I think Bell's got hit with like overcarbonation Is like what their issue was.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know what
I can see that being an issue too. Yeah.
I don't think that the Bell's House strain is an English strain just because its attenuation is so high. I don't honestly know what it is.
I mean, I think I've heard that it started off as that, but like, I mean, even
okay.
like what is it, WLP 007? Ever use that? That's a beast of an English yeast that can go super dry.
Does it really? Okay.
Yeah, it can. And it will hit you with the diacetyl too if you don't give it time. But yeah, who knows? Maybe Larry will leak where the yeast strain came from now that he doesn't have unless he signed some sort of NDA.
He's watched the show twice. I know he's been in our comments twice. So Larry,
give us the detail.
Let us know. the people want to know.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things that shouldn't be that big of. I mean, for one, they sell a version of it. Plus, it's like for me to try to recreate it. If you tell me where it came from, how many generations did you change it before you banked it, or who knows? So yeah.
You can still harvest out of like a can of Oberon or something.
Exactly. So.
Which is something that I've never done, but kind of want to do. Even though you can buy it from Imperial, I think it would still be fun to harvest and grow a culture from an old can or something like that.
I've never actually harvested like an old yeast and from a beer and tried to build it up and use it.
Yeah. The most I've done is dump dregs from sour beers, but
if I made more sour beers, that would probably be up my alley. But yeah, since I do just an occasional one-off, or when I get a club barrel pickup there or whatever, that might be the only time I really do sour stuff, or occasionally Philly sour since that came out. But that's a lot less. That's a cheater way.
I like the Philly. I like the New England IPAs, the sour New England IPAs that I've made with those. It's a really weird style, and there's probably a reason why you don't see them that often. But they can be kind of refreshing and neat and cool. And I would love to see one occasionally on tap, especially during the summer. Maybe not so much during the winter, but
I think Bell's had one on tap recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say they definitely had a farmhouse IPA, but then I could have swore I saw a sour IPA when I was at a show there 2 weeks ago. But yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's my brain.
I'll have to go check it out. Oh, you got anything in the fermenter before I let you go or anything?
No, I've been the DME IPA. Oh, my cat Alice is jumping up to say hi.
Hi, Alice.
And here's her tail. And yeah, but no, I actually don't. I do need to. I probably won't brew until next, at least a week from this coming weekend. Yeah.
I was a little hesitant to babysit anything, or to want to have to remotely babysit anything too. So I kind of wanted to get a mead going, and then I was like, I don't want to mess with it if I have to do like a nutrient addition or something. Or look at Alice tail. But yeah, we'll see how the Eagle juice goes. But I don't know. We're going to Homebrew Con in 2 days, and we'll try to post updates. We'll post pictures. Hopefully take some video, and then we'll be back a week from tonight with our post Homebrew Con show. Brandon has committed to coming back with us, so we'll compare what we thought Homebrew Con was going to be like versus what it was actually like, depending on how much we remember, and we'll take it from there. So thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope you all had a great evening. This is episode 79. We'll be on episode 80 next week. It's so crazy, but thank you all for sticking with us and everything. I scrolled up a little bit and I thought somebody made a new comment real quick, and it was just Ron talking about spandex and doing karate. So I think it was harkening back to our Power Rangers discussion. But all right, everybody, have a good night. We'll catch you in a week, and thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Yeah,
cheers.
Good night. Cheers. So Jason normally does this part. I got to figure out what we're doing here. The outro. Okay. All right. Peace. New outro. Peace. Bye.
Peace.